My name is Morgan Bricka, and I've been a professional mural artist for 15 years, and I'm from San Francisco, California. An email this spring from actually Andrea initially saying, would you be interested in coming to this island to paint? And she included 4 photos. And I responded and I said, yes. I'm sorry if I sound too eager, but you sent me the most beautiful photos I've ever seen. And that was just the beginning. The greenery, I felt like there was a certain power, like energy, with how majestic the landscape was, and the fact that I could see from the photos how many flowers grew here. So there's this majesty. There's also this sweetness, or this. There's a lot of delicacy and tenderness, and it's not all volcanic drama. It's just this really beautiful balance. 5 years ago, I decided to focus my work on public murals, and so I have seen firsthand, like daily in my work, how people feel differently about where they live, and they feel better in a place when there's care and art, actually unique. It gives them a unique identity or feel around where they live.
E dá boa apresentação às vilas que elas precisam desenvolver em alguma coisa.
I saw your 2 walls of the birds and the orchid in the cafe, and I really like the orchid. And the birds are really cool.
It makes me very happy to look at these walls that were like very old, and now it's nice summertime that they're painting the walls and she's doing this kind of work, and it's actually nice. It's very beautiful, and it should stay like this for a few years now.
Acho que é contributo para a ilha e uma coisa bonita, fica bonito.
É bonito e é pena nascer mais ainda.
A Ilha das Flores precisava mesmo de alegria, de vida, de cor, e estas pinturas estão fantásticas, estão lindas.
É olhar, admirar e apreciar. É como a gente está a ver a natureza e está a ver as imagens dela, é igual. Como se pensa, olha-se e deslumbra-se. Nada mais.
Isto está a mudar a nossa paisagem também. Portanto, e depois tem uma coisa, tem a ver também connosco, tem a ver com natureza, tem a ver com aves, tem a ver com plantas que nos dizem respeito, especialmente as plantas que são originárias de cá, que são autóctones. Portanto, isto representa um pouco a natureza da ilha.
As an outsider, I can see how unique this island is compared to every other place I've been. And I think the people here know that they live in a beautiful space, but there's a way in which, by celebrating it through art and putting it right up in front of them, the beauty of the birds that they see every day, all of a sudden they see it as a work of art on the wall. I think it will give them a sense of real pride in where they live and understanding, as the pressures to develop tourism on the island grow, that they see what is so valuable about this island, and they grow in a way that keeps it intact as a natural resource, with integrity and a growth that isn't based on a cookie cutter, growth tourism model. Art brings about such a transformation, and through my work I've gotten to see that. Like, I have seen it happen enough now through my projects where I know what's coming. I know the oohs and the ahs that are going to come when the children come around the corner when I've been painting a mural. I know how nervous the building owner is going to be before I start. I mean, I've seen this over and over again. And then by the end of the project, their heart is so open, they're so happy, they're so proud, they can't believe, all of a sudden people want to use a whole different entrance because the mural's there, or they feel so different, so proud about that space. before it was an eyesore. It was like, oh, kind of don't look at me wall, is now like a focal point of pride. And the way people, I'm a visual person. This is my thing. And other people don't realize how much the environment is impacting the way they think and feel in a space. And so, the before and after is so tremendous.
And I do have the feeling that this will be a long-term passion project for me as well. Like I'm certain I will be back and developing this concept as the best we can. It takes time.
And I think sometimes when you go to a place that isn't your own and you don't take it for granted so much, you actually see a slightly different perspective. And so I think that fits in with what I do. I think my work is about serving the story of that community. And I think bringing an outside perspective is great with that.
To share this idea, that a community can be transformed with art that reflects who that community is and celebrate something really special about that community. And I don't think it has to be me, but I think it's important to share that message that this is important. It makes us human. It brings us together. It gives us a sense of place and identity. It's so important. We can't neglect our community spaces.
Sim, a Ilha das Flores é uma pérola perdida no meio do oceano. A Ilha das Flores toda ela é bonita. Eu também não nasci cá, não sou de cá, eu nasci em África, moro em Lisboa, estou aqui a trabalhar. E sempre que levo um pouco da imagem da Ilha das Flores para fora, as pessoas ficam de boca aberta, não conhecem a Ilha das Flores, as paisagens, as belezas. E estas pinturas é, como se diz na gíria, um acrescento mais à própria beleza da ilha.
Ilha das Flores é diamond, no gold, diamond.
Isto é uma ilha que praticamente está tudo natural. Só que esta ilha está considerada entre as sete mais bonitas do mundo.
We are from here, from the planet, but we doesn't need to destroy.
If you see something beautiful like the murals, you go stay better in the village here. You feel better. That you see color, some joy, and that is great.
Eu gosto de viver aqui e não deixo as flores por nada.
On all my projects, I am typically the hired hand, and there's always an instigator who is not me, who brings me into their community, who has a vision for their space. And in this case, Andrea and Casey are the sponsors of this project. They did a ton of legwork. They flew me out here, providing me with all the materials, lodging, food. I am being compensated with this enormous, vacation. I shouldn't say it like that, but I should say, I should say the gift is not all mine. The gift is also from Andrea and Casey, who love this island and who want to see the best for it.
E conservação da natureza.
Yeah.
Através da arte.
They have something that nobody else in the world has. They have a Morgan.
I think we have a great impact. I think we have a great impact, not just the artwork itself, but the fact that it's a gift. I think that's another layer. And that's where not just CHOKI but Morgan comes in also. The fact that she can do it, and then that she can give it, that is such a nice thing to be able to witness and in some form participate of somebody who can do so well and give so kindly, so gently, so generously. That was amazing. Most artists, when you see them work, you go, damn, that seems so easy. I'm going to start doing, and I'm going to do a mural too. The speed at which you worked, the concentration, the knowing of the color. You look at our palette, and it has the yellows and the blues, and then it goes on and on and on. It becomes oranges and greens, and then she goes back and forth, and that orange is now greener, but she goes then to another place, or comes back, and that orange is green again, and that green is orange again, and just have palettes that goes back and forth. This sets a standard, especially for floors. It's two things. It sets a standard of quality. Other projects will show up, maybe through CHOKI, maybe not through CHOKI, but for all purposes, this sets a standard of quality. And also, it sets a standard for generosity also, because this is a big part of this project. This is given. Nobody asked anything in return. So in those sense, and in those 2 points, I think it's very important for Flourish. It sets a standard for aesthetics of a project. And then also it sets a standard for generosity.
For me, it's super meaningful. I mean, it's the opportunity for my art to be of service to this community. That's how I see it. So I feel like I'm serving their vision. I feel like I'm serving the community of Flourish. That makes me happy. That's what my art is about. Is I want to use images of nature, but to be of service to build community, build awareness of our natural environment, and also, I like my art to make people smile. It's actually not controversial. My artwork. It's very easy for across generations to appreciate, for everybody. Like, it's about them. It shouldn't be about me or my idea or some narrow ideology. It should be something like, oh, we're about this. And it's easy for everyone to really feel united and together on it. I think my art is very uniting.
I saw this from over there and I said, really? That's so big, so beautiful. My God. I didn't know I was have this impact or this surprise, here on this place. It's really.
I'm having a great time. I love this. Every day I wake up and I say, this is my dream come true, painting beautiful nature for people to enjoy. I get to leave this gift, something I can do uniquely well, and I'm just so happy doing this, painting every day. I love it.
Eu já tinha falado com ele, já conhecia o trabalho, já tinha visto e não pensava, não era bem não pensar, tinha algum receio como é que se ia enquadrar na Ilha das Flores o projeto dos murais. Para espanto meu, foi enquadrado na perfeição. Não basta pôr aqui uns murais, uns bonecos, uns desenhos, ou seja, houve um certo cuidado em fazer pinturas com plantas, com aves, os tentilhões. É um projeto que se enquadra perfeitamente naquilo que é os seres vivos, entre aspas, endémicos aqui da ilha, que são as plantas, as árvores, e acho que fica uma combinação perfeita.
Na gestão, na administração do tribunal, os órgãos de gestão aceitaram participar, não é? Não se opuseram, pelo contrário, aceitaram a ideia bem, também pelo facto do que eram os motivos que iam colocar expostos, ou seja, a natureza. Não é? Portanto, a pintura em si não é provocadora, é perfeitamente enquadrada, não é? Ela é provocadora só pelo facto de ser uma pintura num sítio que não existia, ou nunca ninguém pensou antes que pudesse ser usado para esse fim. Só esse pequeno passo, não é? É importante, mas foi importante também o enquadramento que fizeram, que faz todo sentido na natureza onde estamos.
To paint a scene with waterfalls and hydrangeas, like, it looks fake, but it's not.
Hopefully she comes here more.
Okay. Do you want to help?
Sure.
Okay.
I was waiting for Morgan to crack. Never did.
Now I get to crack. I had a big meltdown now. I love this. There's so many things I love about this. Specifically, I love that I'm about to do this ruined wall, and I've painted so many walls. Like, I know what kind of brush I want to use. I know what thickness I want the paints to be. I know how I want it to emerge from the wall. Like, this is just the right amount of challenge and interest, and it's just different than anything I've done before. But it's like, I know also just where I want to go with it.
an email this spring from actually Andrea initially saying, would you be interested in coming to this island to paint? And she included 4 photos. And I responded and I said, yes. I'm sorry if I sound too eager, but you sent me the most beautiful photos I've ever seen. And that was just the beginning.